Hello my fellow Minecraft friends and welcome back to Lightcraft Season 1 Episode 4. At the end of last episode we built this lighthouse, which is my starter base, and I moved all of my things into here. Here are my super smelters, here's my crafting station, and in the second floor I've got all of my items in chests. I've got a lot of empty chests for the future items that I will gather, but I have everything that I need over here. I've also started working on my bedroom. I've made this simple bed, and I've tried experimenting with putting down like a sheep skin, but I'm not sure if it works. I may change that. Also, the paintings are just above the window. I am also not sure about that one. Yeah, I may change everything in here. Yeah, and then we have got one more floor up here where we can put something else in the future. So later in this episode, we're gonna build our first shop. But until then, we need to get some other things sorted. Now that our starter base is finished, we need to think about another big project. And I've got something in mind. It's gonna be a season-long project. I won't spoil it yet, but I do want to find a spot for it. It needs to be a 128 by 128 square, which will fit on a map. I also want it to be kind of flat. I'm kind of in the middle of this plains area, so I hope when I get one map, I will be kind of in the center. Okay, I think we can work with this. There's these ravines, but they can be patched up, so that's fine. Alright, so this is gonna be the place where my big project will be. So I kinda want to make a red border around it, but the issue is I'm gonna need several stacks of red concrete, and we are speaking 8 stacks in total, which doesn't sound like a lot, but I don't have that much sand and gravel, so I'm gonna go quickly mine it. I gathered 8 stacks of red concrete, and now I'm ready to build up the border of my mega project. So the outline to my mega project is finished. It looks kinda nice on the map as well, so that is great. Now let's work on something else and leave this to the next episode. I want to make a shop, and I made a design in my creative testing world, and I even got a lot of the materials, but in the last second I decided I wanted to make another design, because this was just a boring house. There was nothing really interesting to it, and now I've got a much more interesting idea. My idea is to make a 2-span bridge between these 2 hills, and there will be little houses on top of it, like sort of a little bit hanging off the bridge, and those will be my shops. They will not be big, it will be small little houses, like 5 by 5 blocks. So I'm gonna have like multiple shops, but in reality it's gonna be just like one big shop. So it's gonna be like a black bridge and little colorful houses on top of it. So let's start with the bridge. I've got all of my black blocks that I want to create it from. Let's do a time lapse. That would be the bridge, now finished. I sadly lost a part of the time-lapse at the end, but at least I can show you something else that happened while recording. The Hedge joined the server, and he knocked me off the bridge, and I managed to save myself with a water bucket, and the clip is pretty epic. Now that the bridge is all built and finished, we can start placing our little houses on top of it. So I'm gonna start with my first house on this corner. Let's go. So it's now finished, almost. This is kinda what I imagined. I want to make a lot of these little houses on this bridge as we go along. This bridge was inspired by a real life bridge. It's called Ponte Vecchio. I don't know Italian, so I'm sorry. I didn't make roof yet, but that's because I ran out of resources. I'm gonna do that later on. Also, these torches are not permanent. They're not staying. We can finally place in our chests. Alright, nice. So that would be our first shop, all finished now. You're maybe wondering what this giant boulder of stone was behind my build all the time. And now I'm gonna finally show you. This is the new minigame that's happening on the server. The Hedge is organizing it. Let's check it out. The minigame is called Jump and Scare, and let's see what it's all about. Whoa! You got me there. Well done. Well done, the Hedge. This is a good start. So I just read the book, and I'm gonna try and explain it to you. So basically, one person is trying to scare someone else, and it can be whatever, just like jump scare them, like personally, just jumping in front of them, or I don't know, making a loud sound near of them. Just make them jump, essentially. And if they succeed, then the other person is now trying to jump scare someone else. And that's basically it. It is organized by the Hedge, so head over to his video if you didn't understand the rules from my explanation, because I'm sure he's making a much better job at explaining his minigame than I am. So let's add our name to it. So let's add our name into the dropper next to the edge of the H. And yeah, then we just wait to be scared in the near future. I'm terrified already. I think I needed to make it more accessible, because now you have to make some parkour to get up. I added these little stairs. They look kinda messy, but it'll have to do for now. But now it's much better to go up than before. Obviously, now that our shop is finished up there, and also the Hedge's minigame is here, we need some kind of portal so that people can get here easily. I was thinking about it a lot, where to put the portal. One of my early thoughts were to put it on the other end of my bridge, which would force people to go across my bridge before going into this area, therefore being lured to buy something. That is kinda selfish. There is a ruined portal over here, so maybe if we can just transform it. This is what came out of it. It is nothing too fancy, but it is better than the original ruined portal. I gathered enough red nether brick to at least finish the roof from the inside, and I also put in this lantern instead of the torches, because it just looks a bit better. Oh yeah, and I installed this ender chest for people to get their diamonds in case they have it in there. I'm afraid this episode is coming to an end. All there is left to say is thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again next week. Goodbye! Seriously, it just started to rain as I wanted to show it off.